44 The teachings of the Lord of the Second Coming. 2.3 Some lessons from Noah's family. It is difficult for anyone to understand how Noah persisted in building the ark on the mountain over 120 long years, all the while enduring harsh criticism and ridicule. Ham knew well that his family had been saved by his father's labors. Considering these things, Ham should have had such respect for his father that he would overcome his personal offense at Noah's nakedness and have some understanding of it. Yet instead of trusting Noah, who had been justified by heaven, Ham criticized him from a self-centered perspective and showed his displeasure by his actions. His disrespect had the effect of frustrating God's long labors to work His providence through Noah's family. We, too, need humility, obedience and patience to walk the path toward heaven. Next, the providence in Noah's family teaches us about God's conditional predestination of the fulfillment of His will, and His respect for the human portion of responsibility. God found Noah's family after 1600 years of preparation. He guided Noah for 120 years while he constructed the ark and raised up his family, at the cost of sacrificing the rest of humanity in the flood. However, even though they had been His beloved in the providence of restoration, when Ham made his seemingly small mistake, allowing Satan to taint them, the entire will centering on Noah's family came to naught. Finally, the providence through Noah's family teaches us about God's conditional predestination of human beings. Despite the fact that God had striven arduously for a long time to find Noah and raise him up as the father of faith, when his family could not fulfill its responsibility, God, though regretful, did not hesitate to abandon him and choose Abraham in his place. Section 3 The providence of restoration in Abraham's family. Due to Ham's fallen act, the providence of restoration in Noah's family was not fulfilled. Nevertheless, God had absolutely predestined that the purpose of creation would one day be realized. Therefore, upon the foundation of Noah's heart of loyalty toward heaven, God called Abraham and commenced a new chapter in the providence of restoration with his family. Abraham's family was to restore the foundation for the Messiah, which Noah's family had left incomplete, and receive the Messiah upon that foundation. Thus, as Noah before him, Abraham had to restore through indemnity the foundation of faith, and his sons had to restore through indemnity the foundation of substance. 3.1 The foundation of faith. 3.1.1 The central figure for the foundation of faith. In the providence of restoration in Abraham's family, the central figure to restore the foundation of faith was Abraham. God chose Abraham to inherit the mission of fulfilling the will, which he had tried to fulfill with Noah. However, Abraham could not inherit this mission unless he first restored through indemnity all the conditions which had been given to Noah to fulfill, but which were lost to Satan due to Ham's sin. The first conditions which Noah's family lost to Satan were the 10 generations from Adam to Noah and the 40-day period of judgment. Therefore, Abraham had to restore through indemnity another 10 generations. Each of these 10 generations was to restore the number 40, which represented the flood judgment. Once the 40-day flood ended in failure, the restoration of each generation had to span its entire length. This could not be accomplished in only 40 days. The providence to restore the flood in each of those 10 generations had to take a longer period of time, 40 years. This is similar to the situation in Moses' time, when restoration of the failed 40-day spying mission required the people to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. 43 Therefore, after an indemnity period of 10 generations, and 400 years had passed since Noah, 44, God chose Abraham to inherit Noah's mission. The next set of conditions which Noah's family lost to Satan was the position of the father of faith and the position of Ham, who was to take up the role of Abel. Therefore, Abraham could not stand in Noah's position without first restoring through indemnity the roles of the father of faith and of Ham. To assume the role of the father of faith in place of Noah, Abraham had to make a symbolic offering in faith with a loyal heart, just as Noah did when he built the ark. Next, how could Abraham restore the position of Ham? Ham was to have represented Abel, the most beloved of God. Both were second sons and chosen to be the central figures of the substantial offering. Since Satan claimed Ham, according to the principle of restoration through indemnity, God needed to claim someone whom Satan loved most. This is the reason God called Abraham, who was the firstborn son of Terah, an idolater. 45. Abraham was to inherit the mission of Noah, and thus the mission of Adam. In this capacity, he represented restored Adam. As God had blessed Adam and Noah, God also blessed Abraham. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who curses you. I will curse, and by you all the families of the earth shall bless themselves. After receiving this blessing, in obedience to God's command, Abraham left his father's house in Haran and entered Canaan with his wife Sarah, his nephew Lot, and all his belongings and servants. 46. In this sense, God set Abraham's course as the model course for restoring Canaan, which Jacob and Moses would walk in their days. Jacob and Moses would take their family members and all their belongings out of Haran and Egypt, respectively, and bring them back to Canaan while suffering many hardships along the way. Abraham's course also foreshadowed the course which Jesus would one day walk to take humanity and all things out of Satan's world and bring them back to God's world.